Auburn's not an easy place to play at all. What are your memories of 2017 and how that game went back there?
I just remember it being really loud there. The atmosphere was wild, and I just know that played a big part in us taking that L. But I mean, it's also things that we could have did better. But the atmosphere was very electric.
What did this 3 shutouts last year continue to have 4 in the season? Was 70s, I believe.
Right.
How more and more important is that becoming to you guys?
I don't feel like the shutouts are becoming more important. I feel like the details and our standard of what we do on the defense is what we really look up to. Because I mean, a shutout is great. When it happens, but at the same time, it's like we just really focus on our techniques and what we're supposed to be doing, despite all the statistics.
That said, I mean, there was some energy out there. Saturday night, you want to reserve that bagel.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was some great energy. It was a great feeling to know that they could try to get in there at the 1 yard line and we stuff them. But at the same time, it's like we really focus on our techniques and whatnot. And like we don't. I mean, it's great. A shutout is great, but I mean at the same time, it's like it happens.
Michael, how much when you think about the makeup of this defense? I mean, recent Georgia defenses have had the Jarvis Jones and the Leonard Floyds and the Roquan Smiths. There's not that just superstar that everybody's pointing to. Oh, he's a top 10 pick. Blah blah blah. I mean, it seems like that dynamic. I mean, the fact that y'all are doing all this with what a lot of people would say there's not one like just true superstar on this defense.
I feel like we don't really pride ourselves and try to be a superstar. We try to fit in the same defense and like really do what the coach tells us. So if he tells us to do it here, we try to do that thing. As far as defensive linemen, we try to play our gaps and techniques and whatnot. So we really don't look at all the stats and whatnot. It's like, did they make the tackle? Did we miss the tackle? Did we make the interception? Did we miss the pass deflection or something like that? We really just worry about our techniques, fundamentals, doing the scheme that our coaches tell us.
Like in the film room, when y'all review the previous game, what kind of things are said when you're talking about when somebody misses a tackle or whatnot? Just kind of what is the conversation like in the meeting rooms examining previous games?
I mean, for example, like in this last game, it was a shutout. It looked great, but at the same time, I just know that there's some things where people are out of place on certain plays where they shouldn't have got this, where it could have been way better. You could have made a pass breakup or an interception right here and there. So there's always the negative and the positive. So we just really try to look at the negative and try to correct those to make for a better future.
Do players speak out during that, or how does just coach talking to y'all when y'all?
I mean, players speak among players, and coaches also tell us, we have to get better at this. If you want to, play down the road, everybody has their eyes set out on the national championship. So at the same time, those little things, lead to big things. So if we correct those little things, big things will come.
What's your description of Dan Lanning and the younger staff as a whole defensively?
I feel like they're very energetic, and they really love their players, and like as far as like they want us to do great and excel on and off the field. They they're calling play calls, designed around us, to get us around the ball, make us wreak havoc, and tackles for loss and things like that. So I really love their energy.
What about besides their energy, collective personality that inspires you guys, that really gets you guys focused?
I feel like they complement each other. One person sees one thing, the other will be like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, and they'll go back and forth. They love piggybacking off one another, so I feel like they're very complimentary.
What do you think of number 5 for them, Schwartz, and his speed? I mean, I know that's something that JR may have to deal with more than someone like you, but what can y'all help do to contain someone like that?
I mean, really just try to get in the QB's face and pressure him up the middle. Just really rattle him a little bit, and I mean that guy's really fast, so we just got to avoid him getting the ball at all costs, because when he's open space, I feel like he can make things happen. I believe he's a really good track too, so he's a really fast guy.
Following up on Dan and kind of his rise that he's had to become the DC here. I mean, did you see those qualities in him when he was the OLB's coach, and like when y'all went through that transition? I mean, did you kind of could you even imagine or envision him having this amount of success and hitting the
I really didn't know him like as a coach. I just know he was a new coach to the OLBs. I mean, he made the OLBs, better as far as their technique, and the OLBs loved him. But when he came to be defensive coordinator, that's when he became more open to us and talking to us. So that's how I knew what kind of guy he was. But I really did see the dynamic change, because the OLBs will say something, but I'm like, how am I supposed to know? That's not really my coach. We say hey and there and hey and this, but at the same time, it's not my coach. But when he became the defensive coordinator, I feel like I saw the energy and whatnot that the OLBs were talking about. So I feel like when he made that transition, that it was actually really good because he was very energetic and everything that the OLBs told us. I mean, you see it now as the defensive coordinator, and we're prospering off of it.
Michael, you've played against Auburn a lot.
Right.
In your experience, what is it about their run game that makes it different from other teams in the SEC?
They're just like us. They're heavy up front as far as the offensive line and whatnot. Their running backs are usually really good, and they really play good team ball. And they want to run the ball at you just like us, like at your will, and just really try to break people. But I mean, I feel like they're very physical and aggressive.
It kind of seems like for them, especially the run game, the up-tempo is really what gets them going. That's what their whole offense is built around. As a defensive line, kind of what are y'all saying this week to kind of, if you disrupt the run game, you disrupt kind of everything they want to do on offense?
Well, really, we just try to, we obviously have to win first and second down. We have to slow down the pace of the game and really just get in shape because they like to do hurry up and whatnot. So they're big guys, but they're used to it because they're practicing fast pace. So we just need to practice fast pace and run around and make sure to slow them down.
When you talk about winning first and second down, is there a specific number? Is 2nd and 7 winning first down and 2nd and 6 isn't? Is there a specific number you've got in mind there? Or?
I'd say 2nd and 7 is probably where we winning first and second down. I mean, we want to get dime rabbits in all our pass rushing people on the field and whatnot to help them rush the passer to give us a better advantage and help offense get better field advantage.
If you win Saturday, you clinch the East,
right,
and become the first Georgia team or the first East team to win 3 in a row since the 90s. Are you guys aware of that? Do y'all talk about that?
Honestly, we don't look about that. We just really look on, the little techniques and whatnot. Like I said earlier, just the little knickknacks, because if we execute those and do better at those little things, the big things will come. So if we win, that's great, and if we lose, we just know we just need to focus on that.
Has it started to dawn on you the time is winding down?
It has dawned on me a little bit when I realized I have probably a month and a week left. So it happens. I mean, all things come to an end, but it's just coming sooner than later for me.
How has Jordan Davis gotten better this year?
He just really tried, hone in on his technique and whatnot. I mean, I try to, keep Jordan upkeep and just make sure that he's, make sure he stays in his head and knows what he's supposed to do and what he's capable of.
Same question about Nolan Smith. He's also growing as a player. How do you see him different now than the beginning of the season?
I feel like he's becoming more confident. Like with Jordan, last year, I mean, it's just really building that confidence. They're young guys. It's the transition from high school to college, and once they become more comfortable, then you're gonna see them really flourish in their element.
You've already talked about the atmosphere at Auburn, but how do you prepare a freshman or when you are that young going to a place like that for the first time to play in front of that kind of raucous atmosphere?
Well, I feel like if you just execute and practice and do well in practice, that the game doesn't really, matter. I mean, Coach Smart tries to reenact as many, scenarios from past games and, from past experiences in practice. So when it becomes game, it's not like you're shocked or in awe about it. You just really try to execute and practice, and then game is just really chaos.
Your defensive line is also pretty highly touted. Do you ever take inspiration from other defensive lines such as theirs that are highly regarded?
I really love our defensive line, but I mean, at the same time, their defensive line is really good. At the same time, it's literally going to be the better defensive line that day. I look at more of professionals. I mean, at the same time, they have good defensive linemen, but I feel like we're just as good.
Do you relish that kind of competition, even though you're not playing against each other,
Oh yeah, we do relish that competition because at the end of the day, both offenses are good, but it's really, we're competing against them to see who's the best, defense or whatnot in the country.
It seems like even in the games you guys have won against Auburn, they have a drive, first or second drive game, they come down, score a touchdown, and then their offense goes quiet after that. When you're playing an offense like this, does it take some time to settle in and get to that point where, like you said earlier, you're winning first and second down?
No, it doesn't take, time. At the same time, you just got to realize the things that you do, and they might, try to, copy some plays from other people that, were successful against us, to try to catch us off guard, and that's swaying away from what they're originally used to doing. But if we just really stop that early, then none of that will really happen.
So it's less, I guess, getting used to what they're doing and more just making adjustments?
Really, it's really focusing on what you need to focus on and literally just trying to beat them.
You said Kirby tried to simulate situations. How do you do that as far as crowd and that?
Just crowd noise and just making things loud and just making the practice hard. Because at the end of the day, practice is hard. No college athlete can ever say that they love practice. I mean, I never would say that. But at the same time, the practice is supposed to be harder than the game. So when the game comes, it's very easy and simple.
Was there anything, y'all played in some raucous road environments, was there anything about Jordan Hare that was just made it a step above, a step harder?
I just feel like, you know, they're just the crowd atmosphere. I feel like they're all young and energetic, and I mean, that time it was a late game, so I'm pretty sure they were all drunk and just ready to just yell out the whole time. So I mean, it was just a real loud environment. I believe that's when they first just got their big jumbotron too, so that also made another advantage for them.
JR talks about how much he loves playing in that environment and how he's an enemy in that territory. How do you feel in that environment?
I mean, I love that environment too, because knowing that you got a big crowd that's like, you know, booing against you and whatnot and trying to, you know, get you out your game, you just try to, you know, hone in on what you're supposed to do, and then when you beat them, it's like the greatest feeling in the world. So, I mean, you know, you just love going to somebody's house and just taking it over. I mean, that's just a great environment, but at the same time, we just need to focus on what we need to do to get the win.
Can you remember the atmosphere with the crowd noise in the road game since you've been here, where you thought that, well, this is really getting to us, you know, we're not handling this well?
Not in a road game this year, I don't think. But
no, I'm saying since you've been here.
Oh, like South Carolina's always loud when I'm going back home, but like Tennessee was really loud. Notre Dame was loud at first, but not really, because it was just really our fans. But when we went to Auburn, I feel like that was the loudest environment. Oh, LSU last year. That was crazy. I forgot about LSU. LSU was crazy. Like, their whole fan base, yeah, they're wild. Yeah, they're a little chant. I like that. That's funny, though, but can't really say that. But, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man.
Any more questions?